A long, long time ago, in the land of Bushpig, tucked away in the foliage of the Uni forest, lived a particular clan of hedgehogs. Now there was Irma, quite the hothead, preferring to punch her problems rather than face them. She was no longer allowed to play with the rest of them. This was decidedly a wise decision. Then there was Jerry, very unperturbed by most incidents. Containing his excitement had been his yearly resolution for the past, 673 years. He was still working on it. Oh, and there was Robert, down in the dumps because, that's just kind of the way he was. Pessimistic to no end, at times he was difficult to deal with. And let's not forget Nellie, the medicine hedgehog, famous for her biscuitberry sleeping potions. She was wise but lethargic. Whether it had to do with all the biscuitberries she ate was still to be determined. Right, and lastly, where was Todd? Ah, yes, Toddstifer, solving his problems the only way he knew how. By not. Alright, introductions out of the way, now on to the story. It was a clear spring day, and Todd decided to go out for a walk to clear his head from worrisome thoughts. Alas, the more he attempted to clear his head, the more worried he became that he'd forget his way home. Just as he was about to turn back, a thing. And there, more things. Todd prodded it and sniffed it and did everything but taste it. He had learned from his mistakes. Determining it was not life-threatening, he decided to take it home. Todd proceeded to present to his friends the Thud. He'd named it after the sound it made. He'd found it in the forest, he claimed, and what a find it was. Robert said the name Thud reminded him of rainfall and all the times he'd cried himself to sleep. Jerry was just ecstatic, thinking of all the games they could play. Irma said it should be destroyed, preferably by violent means. Nellie ate a biscuitberry. It's not dangerous, Todd said. I see no harm in keeping it here. The other hedgehogs reluctantly agreed to hold on to the Thud, and with that, they sealed their fate. That night, the hedgehogs were all sleeping peacefully, completely unaware that something else in the forest had begun to stir. A creature was moving through the bushes, returning to its stash to find it ransacked. The creature began a frantic search to find the perpetrators. It began searching harder and harder, getting enraged until suddenly it attacked in a flurry of claws and fur, ripping apart their houses and leaving them to flee in terror. The hedgehogs squealed and ran for their lives. The hedgehogs huddled together as they watched the monster tear apart their community. But suddenly, Todd got an idea. Oh no, don't eat the berries! Anything but those! The squirrel grew a mischievous grin. The hedgehogs watched on as he ate more and more. And that's when something strange began to happen. Something was not quite right. And before long, the squirrel had fallen asleep. Todd's plan had worked. Todd thought it best to move the squirrel as far away as possible from their home, so that when it woke up the next morning in the forest, it wouldn't be able to find its way back. And that, boys and girls, is how the hedgehogs lived happily ever after. Until next week, because who knows what Todd's gonna do next.